More than 40 years as a journalist has taught me one thing especially. Journalists, in America particularly, so many act like they're some sort of priestly class. They can judge everyone else, but should never be judged themselves. One rule for them, another for the masses. And I'll give you an example. A high priestess of this class, Taylor Lorenz. Taylor Lorenz of the very establishment Washington Post, a Bible of the media left. What a hypocrite. What a hypocrite. What she has just done to a popular right-wing blogger, doxing the woman who runs the Libs of TikTok Twitter account, is just appalling. Publicly identifying her, hounding her relatives, publishing a link to her address and phone number. Hypocrisy. If you haven't heard of the Libs of TikTok, it runs videos posted on TikTok by left-wingers who actually want them to be seen. They're videos, for instance, of a pregnant woman who says, "Dance if you're pregnant and want to kill the baby." A teacher justifying gender politics being taught to kids in kindergarten. Some persons celebrating their bizarre pronouns. And a transgender Satanist. And if you want to witness the crazy world of the woke left, Libs of TikTok is for you. In fact, this site is particularly effective in showing parents what some teachers are actually saying they're teaching children, openly boasting about it on a site that's actually very popular with the young. Like, for instance, a trans teacher saying they have a tissue dispenser, it's a thing of a cat, where you have to reach into a hole in the rear to refill it, and saying she told the students that she did refill it after turning down the lights real low and lubricating her hand. Or like the bi teacher saying that she got her young students to wear pronoun badges.
Hi, my name's Az and I'm a preschool teacher. Recently we started wearing pronoun pins and the kids get to pick a new pronoun pin every day. We have some that pick like she, her every single day, and we have some that change it up.
Pronouns, the kindergartners, really? Libs of TikTok also has posted videos of other people, not teachers, but also preaching this new gender fluidity.
Here is Madison Cawthorn's definition of a woman. X chromosomes, no tallywhacker. And this gives me a chance to talk about biological essentialism. First of all, it's not true. People have all kinds of chromosomes and all kinds of bodies. Women who've had hysterectomies, people born with certain conditions, but that's almost immaterial. Number two, it is a system of oppression. Gender is a hierarchy and a system of oppression. And the easier it is to define gender, the easier it is to keep the oppression going. It's dangerous.
There's a whole cornucopia of videos like that on Libs on TikTok, which just eye-popping, really opens your eyes to what's going on in the culture on the left. Now, I should be very clear here about one thing before I go on. These videos were actually posted by those people themselves. It's their words, their videos, they're proud of it, they put it out for the whole world to see it. Which raises the question, what's the crime here in Libs of TikTok collecting them, putting them on their own site for even more people to see? But back to this reporter, Taylor Lorenz, because apparently she does see something very evil and wicked and going on here. It seems she's upset that here is a site where the rest of us, particularly parents of young children, can see for ourselves just what madness is bubbling up on the left. And she's now done something about this. But before I show you what she's done, let me do one more thing so you'll understand exactly how mean and hypocritical this Taylor Lorenz has been in essentially punishing the woman who runs Libs of TikTok. Like I said, one rule for journalists like Lorenz, another for the little people that want to skewer. Now here's Taylor Lorenz just a couple of weeks ago, crying about how mean people could be attacking her.
I've had to remove every single social tie. I had severe PTSD from this. I contemplated suicide. It got really bad. You feel like any little piece of information that gets out on you will be used by the worst people on the internet to destroy your life. And it's so isolating.
And terrifying.
It's horrifying. I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
It's overwhelming. It's really hard.
Now, Lorenz has actually been playing this violin for a year, attacking other people, but wailing when it comes right back at her. I mean, Twitter, she posted to one critic, "I know you're joking, but doxing, stalking, trying to hurt and smear people's loved ones, threatening them, it's not okay in any situation. People on here who constantly stoke these politicised outrage campaigns want to dismiss it, but it has very real consequences." In fact, she last year marked International Women's Day by asking people to support women who are enduring online harassment. She said it was no exaggeration to say that the harassment and the smears that she'd endured had destroyed her life. No one, she said, should have to go through this. So, let's sum up the rules according to Taylor Lorenz. No doxing, no chasing up someone's relatives, no digging up dirt from their past just to make a target of them, no being mean, no stoking up politicised outrage, no online harassment of women. Support them. No one should have to go through that. But how many of her rules has Taylor Lorenz herself broken in now doxing and smearing and digging up dirt and harassing the woman who runs Libs of TikTok, a site with more than 660,000 followers? Attacking a woman that Lorenz accuses of somehow spreading anti-LGBTQ plus sentiment and fueling the right-wing media's outrage machine in an article in the Washington Post that didn't just name this Libs of TikTok woman, but linked to her business address, saying where she worked or maybe even lived, and giving out her phone number, a link that the Post removed only when complaints flooded in. I mean, this is incredible. How many rules of her own rules did Lorenz break? For instance, not just identifying Libs of TikTok, the woman, but making her a target too, so that she's now getting death threats. But even harassing her relatives, going to their door and asking other people to justify why they'd linked to this site. Oh, and she was clever about it. You know, Lorenz, this is journalism at the Post, right? She loaded the dice against Libs of TikTok, fed that whole leftist outrage against the woman running it by very deceptive reporting. For instance, she said that some poor teachers have been disciplined, even lost their jobs, after their TikTok posts were picked up by Libs of TikTok. Now already, a fair person, a real journalist maybe, that say, wait a minute here. So it's fine when these people publish their own video on TikTok, but it's somehow not fine when, Libs of TikTok then point it out. And by the way, if you've lost your job because of something you said on the video, isn't that on you, not on a site that says, oh, look, here's the video? But again, here we go. That was something that Taylor Lorenz didn't want to go into. In fact, she didn't really want her readers to know what those TikTok videos actually showed, because then readers might think, hey, well, maybe Libs of TikTok actually did us a public service in showing them. And the problem isn't Libs of TikTok, it's the people making the video. Now, I'll give you an example of this reporting by Lorenz. She writes, for instance, that Taylor Lorenz, it's a former English teacher in Oklahoma, posted a video on TikTok telling LGBTQ kids shunned by their parents that Wynne was proud of them and loved them. You're thinking, oh, is that all he said? What a sweet man. How could Libs of TikTok mock him for that? How could this guy be sacked for simply telling these children he loved them?
Hey, if your parents don't love and accept you for who you are this Christmas, them. I'm your parents now. I'm proud of you. Drink some water. I love you. Bye.
Why didn't Taylor Lorenz report that? Well, I'll tell you, she wasn't reporting. She was punishing. She was punishing the woman who runs Libs of TikTok. She was punishing the woman who was going around letting people know, particularly parents, what was really going on in their school. She was punishing someone who's doing actual journalism. Hello, here's the real world. This is reality. Here, I found it for you. Journalist's job. But Lorenz didn't want that. She doxed her. She incited hatred against her. Now, I got to say, identifying this woman, I'm not mentioning her, as you can tell, but identifying this woman, I see arguments on both sides here, right? She is influential. Lots of followers. Ron DeSantis, Florida governor, seems to be influenced by what's on this site. So maybe she should be identified. Maybe. Hold people accountable. Okay. I get that. But let's not kid ourselves here. This piece was actually a hit job that put this woman in danger. That's why I'm not mentioning it, by the way. It put her in danger. It smells to me of revenge. But above all, and this is what really sticks in my throat, it stinks of hypocrisy, double standards. Journalists, the people. Can you imagine Taylor Lorenz's reaction if someone did to her what she's just done to Libs of TikTok? Knocked on even the relatives' doors, publishing a link to this woman's phone, her address. What would we get then? Another Lorenz special, weepy video. Oh, it's so hard. My life's been ruined. We shouldn't do this thing. We shouldn't drag out dirt on people and blah, blah, make an example of them. Oh. Really? And let me say it again. Is the story, the real story, the identity of the woman behind Libs of TikTok? Or is it the cultural sickness that the videos she has found, the cultural sickness, what it shows?